On today's special holiday episode, we invite podcast all-star Billy D'Elia back to put the 1985 British American Christmas film, Santa Claus, the movie, to the ultimate test, the nostalgia test. The prophecy has come to pass.
Oh, God.
Welcome to the Nostalgia Test Podcast, the show where two longtime friends put their mainstream pop culture past to the ultimate test, the Nostalgia Test.
Did you say that this is considered a British comedy?
Okay, it's a British American comedy. I keep saying the Santa Claus. That's what I want to say. People,
It's
welcome
called
to the
Santa Claus the movie.
Yeah, exactly. Santa Claus the movie. Everyone, welcome to the Nostalgia Test Podcast. Welcome back to the podcast. This is one of our holiday episodes. Well,
I didn't realize we took a break because all we did was record so many times, and like all these episodes are being dropped. I was like, oh shit, we did that. Oh, we did that too.
Yeah, I have so many episodes like back in a backlog, just waiting to be released.
Lots in the hopper.
Oh,
Yes.
It's just sitting there.
Anyways,
Welcome to the
the
Nostalgia
Santa
Test
Claus,
Podcast.
not the Santa Claus. That's Tim Allen. This
Yeah.
is Santa Claus, Dudley Moore.
It's a better movie.
Yes. Listen,
Which we did a few
I will
years
say
ago.
I've been talking about this movie for a while. I
Yeah,
brought
this
it up
is
to
Manny's
Dan.
fault. This
I've
is all.
brought it up to Dan a couple times because
fault.
in my mind's eye or my mind's nice, painting of nostalgia, I was
Yeah.
like, I liked this movie as a kid. Like
Mhm.
this movie was great.
Yeah.
I remember
It was.
all the kids were flying around. Now, that was like one scene, and
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell was this movie? First of all, I don't remember the beginning of this movie.
you mean
at
the
all.
first hour and 20 minutes?
Yeah.
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 Agreed.
I like the whole scene to set up who the hell Santa Claus is. I'm like, what? They kill them off right in the start?
Okay.
Bro, we're watching a fever death dream.
Yeah. This
Like,
is.
those
Oh, yeah.
husband and wife are dying.
dead.
Yeah.
Everyone
They
died.
both died.
Yeah.
The reindeers died. They
Mhm.
died.
Yeah.
That's
This
it.
movie is a typical movie. Like this. Okay. When I was watching this movie and they died, I was just like, look, it's just like a fucking dude to kind of be like, no, I'll be able to make it. Don't worry. I'm going to go out in the snow. Like right in the
Oh, yeah.
beginning, his
Yeah, the
sister
children
or
need
some
their
person.
gifts.
Yeah. It's like, oh, don't go back out. It's snowing and you'll never make it. It's like, I got it. Of course. Yeah.
And this
Then-
is why he doesn't have kids.
Yeah. Because he,
Because he's irresponsible.
yeah. And then he dies. The reindeer die. He's yelling at them. They're dead. And he's like, come on, let's go. They are dead. Okay.
They're dead.
But wait, before we get started, because you're right, this is all Manny's fault. He's been asking me to do this movie for a little bit. And
Well, that's the point, is whether or not my childhood was ruined. And,
this was
or was
this-
I paying this amazing picture of this movie? I knew it was like classic, right? Or like old.
it was all
Like, I don't want to say classic. I remember it being like an old like movie, but I was like, I think it was
Yeah.
fun. I think it was fun.
yeah.
There's like
Well-
4 scenes that are fun in this movie.
4 scenes that are fun in this
There's a
movie. and the
few.
rest are
Yeah, I
horrifying.
agree.
Yeah.
But the Santa Claus the movie is a 1985 British American Christmas film starring Dudley Moore, John Lithgow, and David Huddleston. It depicts the origin of Santa Claus, played by Huddleston, and his modern day adventure to save one of his elves, Dudley Moore, who has been manipulated by an unscrupulous toy company executive, John Lithgow. It was directed by, and I'm going to mispronounce this French name, Jeannot Schwark, and was the last major fantasy film produced by the Paris-based father and son production team of Alexander and Elia Salkind. Now, it was released in North America by TriStar on November 27th, 1985, and it flopped
it's
at the
that
box
old?
office. Yeah,
Jesus.
it flopped at the box office, received a negative review from
flopped.
critics. But this film is a hit in England. Okay? This film is a hit in England, where the film grossed £5 million, which was, you know, which would go on to become one of the most repeated Christmas films ever shown on British television.
All because of drunken Dudley Moore.
I don't know. The budget was 30 to 50 million. It made 23.7. So even with all those
30 to
English
50 million. Oh, was it those awesome special effects? Is that what it was?
Oh yeah,
the Killer
Classic.
Clowns level special effects.
Oh
yeah,
my
but
God.
Oh my
it is,
God.
yeah, and actually in 2019, and then we'll start because this is, I think, should set the tone for everything. In 2019, John Lithgow in an interview said, "This is one of the tackiest movies I've ever been in. It seemed cheesy and it certainly never stuck, except in England. It is huge over there. I wish I had a nickel for every Englishman who's told me it's their favorite film. In England,
my
that's
God.
half of what I'm known for."
Oh my
That's
God.
crazy.
Wow.
Santa
And John
Claus,
Lithgow's like
the
an
movie.
amazing actor, right? Like
I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Harry
like,
and the Hendersons, you know?
Yeah, his overacting in this is insane. Harry and the Hendersons was such a great movie too.
Was it?
Was it?
I
It
don't
was
know.
better
It's a
than
list.
this.
Oh, it's
It's a
definitely
list.
better than this. In this
It was
movie,
definitely better than this.
oh man, dude, this movie starts out in the Middle Ages where this man, Uncle Claus, and his wife Anya are delivering gifts to
Okay,
his,
can we talk about the house
family?
that they're in? That the woman is telling the story about the elves,
about the Vendigums.
the Vendigums, and the Vendigum, and she's telling this story, and I'm like, how big is this house? They have like hundreds of children that they're
That's right.
making into working slaves. There's definitely that's definitely happening, right?
Child labor, baby.
That's what they were doing that for. Like,
It was the
why
Middle
is that house
Ages.
so packed? Like they were all just living in there.
It was the Middle Ages. They're all poor, and this uncle is coming. They were like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory poor. Like that's what
Yeah,
I was seeing.
they were all poor, and the uncle comes with whittled wood.
That's what I remember liking about this movie when I was a kid, like the whittling stuff. I'm like, oh, that looks so cool. Imagine you could do that. Like, that's
Yeah.
so cool. No.
Yeah,
Whittling.
but so like, can we just? We're gonna be all over the place. On this
My
one,
favorite line
that's
though
fine.
there was they're like, where does he find the time to do this? It's the Middle Ages. What
Yeah.
is he doing?
What else is he doing?
He's doing this and fighting bears. Like that's
Yeah.
all he has to do is make these stupid toys that I don't know where he's making them from, and then like kill his deer. I guess every year, kill some reindeer.
Yeah, because he needs it for more of his coats, and he brings his wife, who he kills off as well. Like she's
Horrible.
like, Claus, come here. I'm like, you're not that far away. Go to him.
It's okay. You're dead.
So, are we led to believe that the star or the elves
Mm.
did that on purpose to finally have him show up?
To kill him?
Yeah, because they were like, "Oh, you're finally here, right?"
Mhm.
So there was never a Santa Claus before this, right?
no,
no. Is this what we're saying?
that's what we're saying.
What's
There
up
was
with
no-
the Burgess Meredith thing where he has like the ninja samurai beard, but he looks like Santa? I'm like, what is this? Like, is that old? It's very
Was
weird.
that old Santa, or was that
No.
an elf that's just been there saying like Santa is coming?
So he's an elf. Burgess Meredith plays an elf in the film. If you look at on IMDb, it's Ancient Elf.
Okay, so you're saying basically the story is that these guys have been making toys
The
just in
Vendigums.
case
Mhm.
one of the prophecies is true, and two people die, and so we're in heaven. Is what this is. They're saying that the North Pole is heaven. The elves couldn't wait for it, and so Santa Claus is just a ghost that goes into your house and drops off presents.
Thank you. He's a poltergeist.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Right?
That's it.
Is this what we're led to believe?
That's what I think.
That's what it
And-
feels like, right?
And it blows up Tim Allen's The Santa Claus because in that one, if Santa Claus dies near you and you put his coat on, you become Santa Claus, which that's a curse.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Definitely.
Now they have the TV show, which I saw my kids watching, where he's not like he's trying to get out of it.
Yes.
One thing that threw me off here is like I actually had trouble with the timeline because this is like the beginning is like what the 16, 17, 1800s, somewhere in there, right? And then he goes here, and then it jumps ahead but Joe is dressed like an extra from Newsies, but
Yeah.
it's supposed to be the 1980s. So I'm very confused as to what the hell's going on.
Billy, he is literally a newsie. You're
I
totally
thought
right.
they must have got him
Is this
as
the
an extra.
1800s? What's
Yeah.
going on? And the girl lives in like a mansion with like a library. I'm like, is this the 1800s? Then I'm like, no, wait, like, oh, like
No,
Oh, yeah,
it's
'cause
not.
they show
Toys they're
well, they
getting
show-
are not 80s
No, but-
toys. Like,
Yeah,
what
but
is
they
this shit
show.
Santa's giving me?
But Billy, they show like the sands of time. They show the different centuries. Like
oh, my
like
God.
if you look at the hourglass that shows up
God.
all the time through the different 30 minutes of
Montage.
montage, it shows like century 1, 20th, like
Oh, I
18th
must have missed
century or
that.
what. Yeah, it shows
Yeah.
that so that it like tells us we're now in the newer century, and like you see that Santa Claus is getting tired because he doesn't get any rest, and that's why he needs an assistant. Let me just say this.
Fuck is this film?
Why the fuck did it take so long to get to that? Like we were just watching montages of them dancing, of them working. There was
That was
nothing
a
new
long-
that came along.
That was
Like,
a long montage.
They didn't like establish. Well, I guess they were establishing like naughty and nice. I'm gonna check it twice. Like he had to say all those, from the Santa Claus song. So they had to plug it in there. But like, there was just so much nonsense in the beginning that I was like, what are we watching?
Yeah, this is like one of those origin story movies where you're just like, we didn't need this huge origin story. I don't need
No.
to know all of this. And what's funny is it's so ridiculous. Like you were saying, like all these elves were building toys, waiting for their, as you said, Billy,
what?
when you
Yeah.
like their Messiah.
Yeah.
That's
Like-
what it felt like.
Yeah.
I'm like, is it supposed to be that? Because obviously it's a Christmas movie, the whole Jesus thing, blah blah blah.
Yes.
Like, is that what they're going for? They must be, right?
Well,
Massive.
that's what I mean. You have the star. It was like it looked like they were telling almost like a Jesus-like story. They have no kids. They're like, then it's like Mrs. Claus becomes like the Virgin Mary, and then it's like they have
Yeah.
all the kids in the world, right?
Mhm.
And it's just like he dies for everyone else, and he gives them gifts every year. So like if you look at this through like a Christian or Catholic, like through that lens, it's like Jesus dies for everyone's sins. That's his gift to everyone. And in Catholicism, it's like that you can continue to like confess your sins and be like reborn or whatever, right?
Mhm.
This is what this is. Like, so this is where you get, like, they took that and created this fucking movie. So is Burgess Meredith God? And like, is like David Huddleston Jesus? Like, it's like fucking crazy.
Yeah,
Maybe.
it's kind of nuts. I didn't realize that was Burgess Meredith right away until he talked. I was like, oh shit, it's him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah.
either. I
Yeah.
forgot I didn't even realize he was in this movie. And I forgot
Yeah,
that
me
whole
neither.
part of the ancient of him like talking to him and just like telling them the rules and stuff. And this guy like just steps right into it. And like remember the part when the snow
He's
The
not
snow falls
freaked
on all
out
the
at
elves.
all.
they're like,
Oh.
wait for the celebration or the what do they
Season's
call it?
greetings.
Season's greetings. And I was like, it's just snow. Like what
Yeah.
what were we watching? What were we looking at? Because the star
ceiling-
came over.
Yeah, the ceiling
weird.
opened. And it
Again,
snowed
another
on all
waste
them.
of like 5 minutes. Right.
Dude.
Right. And then all just to get to the point where we're like, all right, he needs an assistant.
Yeah.
And Dudley Moore, not only does he make angel dust and crack for the
Dude,
reindeer,
We
and
have to-
sprinkle it on the
On the
Oh my
reindeer
God.
too, he's just like, here you go. Sprinkle a little crack on the reindeer.
and he must stink. He must stink because he lives in the reindeer sleeping.
I hate
quarters.
this movie. This movie is so
it's a piece of shit.
Like
It's
he
gonna be
must
so bad.
stink. He must.
this movie made me hate Christmas. I'm watching this fucking thing, and I'm just like, why
And when
is
like
this happening?
when the cars are being made, like the bikes that nobody would want to freaking.
In the
as a
80s, I've been
gift
like,
in the
great.
80s.
What the fuck is
What
this?
is this? I'm like thinking in the 80s, like what? And you remember like John Lithgow's character? They're in court and they're like, you filled this like teddy bear with like
It's got fucking
shards
nails
of
in it in
glass.
glass.
It looked like a pipe bomb. They look like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, all it was missing was the explosive. It's a shrapnel bomb.
Yeah.
Oh man.
How about
Like
when
the-
how about when the bus runs over the wagon and it just keeps going and runs over it again?
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know why
it
that
just
made me
keeps
laugh. It's
going.
like, what if that was a kid? They would just run him over too.
All the kids are riding these pieces.
I was like,
it's not
I was like, the
1965.
the toys got returned not because they broke, because they suck. Like,
Yeah, they're like, oh, what is this? Come on,
how
Grandpa.
did they?
Grandpa
How did
Santa.
they return them though? Like we're like
I think they
just
just
fly
like, set
away?
it. I think it's like magic. You just like set it and they just flew away.
it was like debris.
I
was
did like where
flying
the
all
guy
through the-
goes, should we put out a statement? I'm like, what, this is Santa's PR guy? Like, what's going on
Yeah.
here? What are they gonna do? Breaking news.
Yeah,
Oh,
breaking news. Hi, how are you? Like,
So it's real. Dude, Santa also does not care about being seen.
no,
no. He's like, hey, what's up, Joe? How's it going, bro?
Yeah, I'm like, he's like, oh,
Want some
look,
candy?
somebody who needs me. I'm like,
yeah, want some candy? Come
wait,
into
you're
the
just like,
stand.
there's no rule?
Hey,
He
Joe,
doesn't
come
care
on.
about that.
Take a ride with me, Joe. This is horrifying. This whole movie was horrifying.
All to set up that loop-de-loop scene.
It's
Because he's
stupid.
like, oh, he's afraid of doing the loop-de-loop. I was like, which was an unnecessary move at the end of the movie. Because when the thing blows up, they're going, all they needed to do is be underneath them anyway. They didn't have to do a loop around.
No,
It was
they didn't.
ridiculous. It was a ridiculous scene. Like, oh, let's just show that we could like make this
Also,
green screen happen, which was the worst green screen ever.
And then wouldn't Joe fall out
so
of the
bad.
fucking thing?
Joe would have
Yes.
fell out, and the gifts, everything.
And then
Nothing.
what about
no
when
one
it
is strapped in?
what about when the thing explodes? They would have died.
They would have died.
Yes.
They would have died.
Oh,
Speaking of the green
God.
screen, it's funny. I'm watching it, and like, I said my kids didn't want to watch it. My 10-year-old walks in, she's like, "Wow, that's a terrible green screen."
They know that.
I was like, "Yes, it is, Layla.
That's
really
a-
bad."
wow, Dad, the ADR is terrifying.
So yeah. What is
So-
this crap you're
So
watching?
Santa's immortal. All the
Yes.
elves are immortal.
Because they're
This is
dead.
this is a prison sentence, like just being Santa Claus. And there's a scene where he's memorizing the directions. He's like, "All right, I go right here. I do bear north and then bear east." I'm like,
Mhm.
"Bro, bear where? Like you're gonna be stopping at every single house. Like by the time you get to wherever you have to go." And then Burgess Meredith says this crazy thing to him when he's like, "Well, how can I do that all in one night?" And Burgess, I had to write this down because it was like the darkest thing I've ever heard. He's just like, "Well, know this: time travels with you. That the night of the world's a passage of endless night for you."
What the fuck? I missed that. That's insane.
That's
like-
what he
that's like a-
says.
That sounds like a quote from like Lord of the Rings or something that Gandalf would say.
He looked
Yeah.
like Gandalf.
He did, you're right?
He did. And his beard was like held by 8 people.
Yo,
Yeah, it just reminded me of a samurai movie, like where we're split in two. Like
Yeah, he looks
you
like
do
the character
flipping kicks
from
one.
Kill Bill 2.
Kill Bill. Yes,
Oh,
yes,
God.
yes. That's what it was.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
Oh my god, dude! Why is then there was a cat abuse scene and
Yeah,
Can
what
we
the
just?
fuck was that?
I thought
Yeah.
that was terrifying because I thought that was gonna line up that John Lithgow was that kid, but I'm like, wait, that was the 19th or 18th century, so it can't be. But that would have made sense if like it was in the
If they
20th
connected
century.
it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
no, why connect that? Because you need in minute 36, you need a third music montage.
I don't get it. All just to show what a naughty kid is. I was like, you didn't have to show that the cat gets tortured by this child.
Serial killer. That was actually Ted Bundy they were showing us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, that was
I bet the reveal that John Lithgow's her uncle, like dun dun dun.
step uncle.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Oh yeah, step
Step
uncle.
uncle. And
What
she
does that
lives
even
there.
mean? Yeah.
I don't
With
know.
like
And then can we talk about that? Like they basically kidnapped those 2 kids and they're like, oh, can we stay for at least a year? I'm like, just stay forever.
Sure.
at
I'm
the
like,
end,
you guys are
Yeah.
dead. You
Now
guys
they're
are actually dead. They're dead.
yeah, they're all dead.
They're dead. And also,
Yeah, Santa killed him.
like Santa could just like with a twink of a nose, like go here and here. Why are we walking anywhere? Why are we?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why is it?
or even
you know,
flying.
Why
yeah,
the fuck does he need to fly?
Just go like
just go like
he's
that.
just like
Yeah, he's like, we're all doing coke. We're all doing coke during this.
It is the 80s.
Yeah.
It is the 80s. And I kept forgetting that it was the 80s in this movie because John Lithgow is not in the 80s. That's not the 80s. Like, he looks like a villain from the 1920s. And
Yeah. The Newsies thing. Like, yeah.
the Newsies thing, the
Toys.
all the toys. It was only
He's so
80s.
over exaggerated.
Oh,
Though his caricature was hilarious.
He's like Daddy Warbucks or something, right?
Yes.
Like,
yes. Yes.
That's what it was. Yes.
And
Yeah.
oh god. And then
The
like
evil Daddy Warbucks.
oh my god. And it's like Santa's never seen a homeless person. He's like, Joe, you don't have a home? The 80s in New York. What are you fucking nuts?
moron. Yeah,
Yeah, well,
there
think
needed
about
to
it,
be more
though. He is-
gang activity, though, if this was really the 80s in New York.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, 100%. 100%. Oh my god.
But again, like Santa, I will say he looks like a good Santa. I like his Santa look. Right,
Look is great. I agree.
his look was. I was thinking about like top 5 Santas that I like in movies. I'm like, he's a pretty good looking Santa.
From
but
a
like-
looks perspective, I agree.
But as far as like rules wise, breaks every rule of Santa.
all
like-
of them.
You know, oh, let's take a break. I guess you can because time travels with you, as they say. But like,
Yeah.
you're just gonna stop and like show yourself to this kid like you don't believe you don't care about like beliefs anymore, like you know. And then he
That was
gets all
a
depressed.
little off.
He gets all depressed because he's losing
He's
to this
fat.
candy that makes
That
everybody.
don't need a body
Yeah,
shape.
he's fat.
That was funny too. He's eating fucking celery and carrots.
Yeah. Oh my god, what is he doing? I hate this.
But the
movie.
whole assistant thing was like, why did he need an assistant?
It doesn't make
They
sense.
were all assistants. They all make
don't
the
feel lazy.
toys. He
You
no
don't feel
longer
lazy,
makes the
fat
toys.
ass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like all he does is work one day a week.
One day a week.
year. One day a year.
Yeah.
Works.
Yeah.
The rest of the time he just walks around the factory. So I'm like, what's the assistant for? I thought the assistant was they were gonna say like, we're gonna need like a couple more sleighs, and you need to ride a sleigh.
Say
You know?
slaves or slave? This sounds like you almost said slave. It sounds like the
Slaves.
elves are already their slaves.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Slaves. Okay. Okay.
Yes, the elves. But the elves like doing this shit. They can't wait to make.
Yeah.
They've been making all these toys.
No, they like making toys. It's fine.
Yeah, they love to make toys. And
No, what they like is sniffing that freaking fairy dust that
we
makes them
need to-
fly.
we need to get to the core of this movie. And the core of this
The core
movie
of this
is
movie is that Buddy
this
the
is-
elf got fired and he walked to the city and he's
he met his dad who's a douchebag.
yeah.
No, but
Then
really,
at the end goes back to the North Pole with his girlfriend.
this movie is
watch
oh
the
my
elf.
god. This movie is all about the 80s crack epidemic in New York because Dudley
It's a
Moore
hallucination.
literally creates crack, okay, or ecstasy. He creates a drug that
Yeah, when the
then
reindeers take it, they're like,
yeah.
When
And-
who takes it? Oh,
when
the reindeers.
first take it. They're like,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like oh my god, like yeah, he made drugs, and then he had these drugs. He's giving them out for free, so then he can make people pay for them later.
Well,
And-
that's
and-
not. But that's Lithgow's thing. That's the business thing. The other
That's
guy,
smart.
But he
Elf
made
has no idea that he doesn't even know what money is.
no, but he
Like, he just-
made the drugs.
Yeah, so he has it. He stole it from
Did-
the.
Did
the
you see
North Pole.
the setup? It had all these beakers. It looked like he was cooking crystal meth.
Cooking meth.
Yeah, yeah.
I bet as soon as Lithgow hires him, he literally fires everyone that works in his factory.
Everyone.
Yeah.
He calls them commies because he has to pay people.
Oh,
man.
Jesus, dude! Yeah, this movie's ridiculous. And how about I texted him the shameless corporate plugs were like McDonald's. Like it looked like a McDonald's commercial when Joe's looking
Yeah.
out the window, and then he's got the Coke right afterwards. I'm like, this is
Yeah.
like this looks like a commercial from the 1980s, essentially.
That was the weirdest scene. That was a really weird scene. Apparently,
Oh, and he was just staring at the girl, everyone eating at McDonald's like it's the best thing ever.
yeah, yeah.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah. There are no
Christmas
redeeming
holiday
qualities in this movie.
seasons. No,
No.
did nothing. Not a bit. Even like so, the lollipop gets made, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
John
Yes.
Lithgow has no idea what it really does. He's
Could be
just so
poison.
happy, you know. Yeah, only a few people you see like float. There was no like scenes of like everyone really freaking out about it. Like, oh my god, we got to fly a little bit. Like, no one cared that they were in the air for a moment. Like,
there was that fourth or fifth montage when like the nanny, like that little
Sure.
girl's nanny eats it, and then next shot is in like the like East New York somewhere. This kid on a basketball court. It was now in the 80s. It was in the 20s. Now we're in the 80s.
Yes.
Graffiti everywhere, basketball, and he flies up with it. And I'm just like, what the fuck is
now,
this?
does the kid come back down? How long is your trip?
I don't
They
know.
didn't show that. It's not like I was thinking in my head, like, what's so great about this thing? Because like, cool, I want to fly, but like, I want to fly under my control, not just like eat it and then just like keep floating. Just like John at the end, because he ate too much and like it was the hyper
he
drug
dies.
of it. He dies. He goes into the atmosphere.
Clearly,
He's
yeah.
dead. He's
Probably blew up.
He becomes the new Santa Claus because he's
That'd be a good sequel.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
the devil of it.
Yeah, no,
He's a falling angel.
Yeah, this is. I mean, I just kept writing. What is this movie? Who is this movie for?
I'll tell you this. This movie. Okay, I've been watching a lot of cheesy Christmas movies this year, which I do all the time. I don't go to the top 5 until like this weekend. That's when I start.
You work your way up to it.
Yeah. This movie would be a good cheesy movie if you cut half of it, because it was what 2 hours long.
It was about
Way
an
too
hour
long.
and 49 minutes.
Way too long.
It was way too long.
Yeah.
If
Been a $1.20 at least at best.
there
With
has to be a
commercials.
way to edit some of these things. Okay.
This movie
Like,
should have been.
there's so many things that could have been thrown out. Like
Yeah.
the beginning part, like, okay, they die, they come up,
Great.
explain what they are. This is what we're gonna do.
Santa's a ghost. Yeah.
That's it. Santa's a ghost.
They should have called this Ghost Santa.
Yeah.
Oh
It'd be
god.
better. It's funny because I actually, when you messaged me to do this, I was like, oh, that's awesome. I actually bought this movie like 2 years ago because I remembered it watching it as a kid. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh, it's like $3.49 to rent or $9.99 to buy. I was like, oh, fuck it. I'll just buy it. I love that movie as a kid. And I never got around to watching it until tonight. And I was like, fuck, I should have just rented it.
Bill, it was
I-
on sale for like $1 to buy.
I watched this on Tubi for free. That's the only way that
You
this
just
needs to be
didn't
done.
want to watch it for 99 cents, Dad?
It
you
wasn't
just didn't
99 cents. For me,
I
it was
principle.
$3.99 for some
Oh.
reason.
It was 99 cents when I looked at it the other day. It was on sale.
No, today it was
they're probably
yesterday.
like, please watch this. John Lithgow needs
Yeah.
to make a little.
He needs the
bit
royalties.
of royalties.
It was
Oh my
$3.99 on Prime for some reason. Maybe because I don't have also AMC Plus, and I don't know. Like, but I watched it on Tubi.
What do you
There were
feel
no
about the
commercials.
wife?
I mean,
Mrs.
she
Claus?
made the list up. She made the thing about like
She
you know.
She had all the rules. Yeah.
She's like, you don't give this piece of shit a gift. Fuck
No,
you."
she was.
He's
She
saying
was
it's like,
such
but
a-
he needs a gift. And he's like, yo, he's gonna fucking murder people. He's using a cat. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you crazy? Get out of here.
She's in charge.
She is.
Like,
She makes
Yeah,
him wear
She
red.
clearly is.
Yeah.
She's not like the green.
No.
She was-
Those outfits get ridiculous, by the way, when they're at the North Pole. Did you guys
Yo.
notice that?
oh my
He-
god, they're ridiculous.
There's a scene where
Polka
like
dot and shit.
he's like dressed like a clown at one point for some reason.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what is
Yeah.
happening. And she's just nonplussed the whole time. She's like, oh, I guess we're in the North Pole now. Well, this is my life. But
this
then
is
I was
it.
thinking, I'm like, well, of course. She, unfortunately, she's a woman from the Middle Ages, and it's not like she's gonna be like, well, fuck this. Like she's like,
Yeah.
Sorry, Santa.
yeah, I mean, it's really cold out. Now I have to be here. Like, I mean, it's probably better than where they were living in the first place in the Middle Ages. I mean, it looked like hell
Was
on
that
earth.
Germany or Norway or something like that? Somewhere.
But-
There
Yeah,
But, like,
somewhere where they
you
make
would-
like black metal.
You would think that the
Yeah,
factory would
they
eventually
should have
like,
seen Odin instead. They were either going to see Odin or wherever the hell they wound up. So
Yeah.
they got the wrong choice.
you would think eventually they would have like, the toy room starts to get like more gadget like
Yeah.
upgraded.
It's like old
I-
shit. It's like
It's
the
just-
Middle Ages or whenever that was, the 700s, 1800s, and then 1980. The toys are the same thing. That's why I was so confused with the timeline because I missed that part. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah.
oh, clearly this is back in the day. Newsy's kid is here, like, and then I'm like fucking getting these wooden toys and shit.
Yeah, and
I'm
he
like,
loses
oh wait,
his-
no, there's the World Trade Center. Like what?
He loses his New York accent, not in like
Yeah.
every other scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You remember when Santa gives him that stupid statue of Patch? Like he's like, you deserve a gift. It's like he
In the
deserves a
80s, be like,
sandwich.
what is this shit?
Yeah.
He deserves
Food,
a
bro.
sandwich. Like
I
You
heard
see
the
how he
red
devoured
one-
that
red
meal
one-
with the Coke outside? Like, yeah.
Yeah. Can I get more of this? I like when Santa's like, so you've been seeing a lot of that girl, and he's like, yeah, yeah. It's just like they're not in a relationship. The
Yeah.
kid is homeless.
She's feeding
Like,
him.
it's like-
She's feeding him, bro. How about the bitchy girls at the dance club class that are like, you don't have parents?
and she smacked the shit out of that girl.
Yep.
She's like feeding him like a stray cat. She put a bowl of food outside with a Coke.
With a Coke, though. A nice cold Coke with your
Yeah.
McDonald's French
Yeah,
fries.
don't give him
Only
hot cocoa.
$1.99.
Dude, my favorite scene in his entire movie is this. John Lithgow is towards the end where he's just like celebrating with his, shitty friend there or whatever, the guy that works for him.
Minion.
And he takes out a Pabst Blue Ribbon can and pours it in a snifter that you put brandy
Yes,
in.
he did.
I didn't see that. Oh, I missed
I
that.
did.
Oh,
I did.
that's hilarious.
This billionaire is drinking Pabst out of a can.
Classy
Pabst
back
Blue
then, man.
Ribbon was like, we need in on Santa Claus the movie.
We need to sponsor this. Bud's like, this is
Oh.
below us. The PBR. You want in? It was like PBR, Bush, Jenny Cream Ale, and PBR won.
It was so
Wow.
weird. I was just like, why is this happening? Oh my God.
I will
Yeah.
say,
Ugh.
so the Santa Claus the movie was actually mentioned in an article recently with the Dwayne Rock movie that flopped.
Oh,
The
red one.
Oh.
I want to watch that. It's on
holy
Amazon, so I'll watch it
nostalgia.
at some point.
You watched it?
No, I'll watch it at some point. I saw it.
I'm gonna watch it, but
I
it
heard
was
it's really
like
bad.
it just says in the
Yeah.
1980s we had Santa Claus the movie, which was a flop. It's like now we have this one.
Wow, I do want to
They
watch.
also
the
said
Jack Black
Jingle All
one
the
where
Way
he's
was
Satan.
Jingle All the Way was a flop,
Yeah,
No,
it
that
was.
fucking
but I
awesome.
think it's a great movie. But
Yeah.
That
it
is a
flopped
great
at the
film.
box office. Yeah,
That's fair, but I mean, Phil Hartman's in that. He's great. That's a different. That is like head and shoulders above this piece of trash that we just watched.
Yes.
Yeah, this movie, it's just like, dude, oh my God. This
I mean,
movie,
there's not much else to say than like it was just terrible. Like he wasn't even that good. Like I was thinking like, what funny things did Dudley Moore bring to the character?
No, he was mailing it in, bro. He was like a version of himself, right? This isn't like him in Arthur or any of his classic movies. What's the one where he switches brains? I confuse those because there were a couple that came out at the same time. One had Kirk Cameron, one had Fred Savage.
Yes.
I can't remember which one Dudley Moore was in, but
he
It
was
was
in
the
he was
one-
in that movie 10 as well, and Arthur and
Yeah.
let's see.
Yeah,
Arthur's great. And that movie they never should have remade. That movie's a piece of shit to remake.
Oh, like
Yes.
father, like son. Is that the one?
yes, that one was
Yeah,
like
is it,
Father Like
is it
Son.
Fred Savage or Kirk Cameron? Which one is it?
I think it was
Um,
Kirk Cameron.
Yeah, there's a lot of those. No, yeah,
That
Fred
wa-
Savage is in the one with Judge Reinhold. This
Yes,
is the
and
one
they have
with
to get like
Kirk
naked
Cameron.
and touch something at the end to switch back. It's really weird in that
Oh
one.
my
Sorry.
God.
Yeah, that
Tangent
movie
here,
was
yeah.
crazy.
What the fuck?
That
bro?
movie was good though too.
Yeah, they
I
were,
think-
but it was like the same movie. It was very weird.
Yes, yeah,
It's like Freaky Friday or any of those. You
yeah.
know,
That's
like,
it. Was the
let's do
Switch
it over
movies.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was in a lot of great movies, Dudley Moore.
Bro, he was in great movies. That's why I'm like, oh, he definitely mailed this in. He said a couple funny things in the beginning, or tried to be, and then like he just kind of was, Then it was the Lithgow show. Like he was
God.
really kind of just like in the factory, and he just wanted to impress Santa. All because Santa didn't even tell him to leave. This
No, he
whole
just
movie
said-
is just a misunderstanding of communication. Like you
Mhm.
should have just
The
done like.
whiny child.
Yeah, like you
Yeah.
should have just checked the bikes when they came out of the factory. Like,
Yeah.
you telling me you didn't have a guide check it? Like, just ride the bike. and
Quality
see the
control,
fucking
bro.
Quality control, and then that was it. Or just be like, hey, listen, your thing is great. How do we make it better? We have to do better.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, Santa doesn't talk to him. What's his name runs away with fairy dust and then brings it to the world?
Bro, I'm telling you,
Crazy.
this guy, he brought like crack cocaine to the fucking earth and it spread that around.
Bro, and then like Santa was so depressed, not because of Patch, really, but
Well, he didn't
because
give a
like
shit.
because like no one cared about Santa anymore because they were getting crack. And he was like,
80
oh, what am I
80s
gonna do?
consumerism, baby.
Yeah, exactly.
Greed is good.
Yeah.
And like
was
then it
insane.
just kind of ends. Like the movie, there's no like
It doesn't-
real message to this movie.
No, the kids are like, "Can we stay here?" They're like, "Yeah, fuck
He's like,
it." That
"Sure."
little girl doesn't have a family. Her
Yeah,
uncle's
he's like
dead.
just for a year at least. I'm like,
Neither of you have
no
family.
one cares
He's like,
about
yeah.
you. Yeah, your uncle
We're gonna-
died.
They're both
Santa's
orphans.
Santa's like more slave labor.
Yeah.
You elves.
we'll
Like,
train you to make
you.
fucking.
We're gonna make you Santa Claus and Mrs. Claus. We're gonna make you have babies because
Oh,
we
no.
weren't.
Oh
We
my
couldn't.
God, that's dark as fuck, dude.
This is a fucked up movie.
There was one funny scene in this movie, and that's when Santa was like literally so depressed, just sitting there, and the elf comes with that doll, and he goes like,
He's like it wets.
"Does it fly?
It
No, it
wets.
wets." I was like, "Okay, that's a good one."
And that thing, I'm like, how does that thing wet? It was like
It
a piece
doesn't.
of yarn. It was a yarn doll.
That's because
There was no mechanism in that.
How long were they waiting for Santa to show up? So these elves could have been making the same toys since the freaking 1400s, for Christ's sakes, right?
Before that
Look
shit,
how innovative this is.
And like, yeah, why did they start? I want to like go to the origins of like who made these elves start making toys? Like the ancient elf?
that's
Like, he was
really
just
the
like-
movie. That's
Yeah.
the movie, like because
Yeah.
it's
Where are they from?
exactly.
Yeah,
How do you make an elf? Like, how did the elves get made? Like, I don't give a shit about really Santa Claus. I need to know the origin of these elves because that's really that's the movie. Okay, that's
Is
the
it just
fucking movie.
purgatory? And that's like when he dies, he just has to do this over and over again every year. That's purgatory. Can't get
Yeah.
to
That's why he
heaven. He's
brought-
not going to hell. It's just purgatory.
That's
yeah,
what
and
I
that's
think.
why he had to bring Joe and the girl because he finally gets to leave after you bring the next two in line.
That's right. Just like
We're
Beetlejuice,
basically watching a
Beetlejuice.
succession.
Do you think anyone has ever analyzed this movie to this level that we are right now? Like
Yes.
some of them must have. Like
Oh,
someone must have
Definitely.
been really high and watched it and been like, bro.
bro,
No,
this shit
definitely.
is crazy. It's
Definitely.
the
We're
Or
origin
watch
of
Santa
Santa.
Claus the movie.
Yeah, the movie. Like, fuck this. Like, fuck everyone that made this film because, like, the way they Santa Claus the
Shit.
movie.
Headlines don't sell papes. Newsies sell
Dude, he
papes.
sell papes.
Have no fear, Brooklyn's here.
That's
Such a
dude.
better movie.
If this
infinitely
movie
better
was
movie.
rated PG-13, Joe would have been able to say "fuck you" once to Santa in the
Yes.
80s. You know, he'd have been like, "What
Like,
the fuck you
He's
talking
like,
about?"
yo, the Brooklyn Bridge. He's letting him steer the freaking reindeer on the Brooklyn Bridge, and Santa's like freaking out. I'm like, you're the one that gave him the reins. Like,
Give
Yeah.
a
just
child
take-
the reins, you idiot.
yeah,
Like
like
something that doesn't drive. It's animals tied to the front of a sled.
yeah.
It's,
I don't know.
there's a couple really funny
The-
things here. Yeah, go ahead. Go
Yeah.
ahead, Bill.
Like I want to go back to like what Manny said. The only redeeming quality from this movie that comes out of it is like it's a good looking Santa. It's like what you expect Santa to look like. You know, like I know people in all new Christmas movies were trying to get innovative with how Santa looks. I'm a traditionalist when it comes to that. Like I want Santa to look the way that Coca-Cola made him to look, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the
Coca-Cola
day,
basically came
let's
up with
not
Santa.
forget that is why Santa is red. If
Yes.
Pepsi had sponsored Santa, he'd be fucking blue. So
Yes.
let's not forget that the whole Santa thing is American consumerism at its finest. You know,
Did you
Yeah.
know that story about marketing of Santa Claus? It was
I
that
know, like,
reason.
yeah. It's
The-
because
the-
Coca-Cola.
Coke was
Yeah,
Coke wasn't selling during the winter time, and they
Yep.
were like, "Oh, let's take this Saint Nicholas and this other character
from
this, like,
Scandinavia, Germany, whatever.
yeah,
over
and
there.
this
Yep.
other like robbing chimney guy that would be a chimney
Krampus,
sweep."
I think.
Yeah, he was robbing from people's houses, and then like as he was going up, the chimney would be swept, right? And they were like, "Oh, and like let's make it red, and his cheeks red because our can is red." So basically, Christmas has been
It's Coca-Cola.
made buy Coca-Cola.
Yep.
I hate-
Because
dude,
even if
I-
you look at like
hate
any of
this
like the
world.
real Saint Nicholas things, like he's still a fat guy with a beard, but he's not wearing red. He's just wearing like traditional, like you think like German, Scandinavian,
Yeah.
Swiss,
Yes.
whatever, like that whole area over their outfit, you know?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. The green. It was more greenish. And then
Mhm.
nope. Coca-Cola was like, we're gonna make it red.
I hate
It
this.
was like the best marketing ever. We're still when you think about
They need
Christmas,
a Harvard
you're
Business
thinking
Review
about-
on that. Why
Yeah.
don't they teach that shit in MBA school? They've
That's
owned a
just-
holiday. Jesus, man.
they owned a holiday.
It's
Dude, I
better
watched
than Hallmark
that
or
was
Valentine's
just
Day.
there was someone who just explained all that on like Instagram. It was like a whole video. It was like a 2-minute thing. This guy was explaining to a class about like
It's crazy.
what
dude.
is the best marketing, and it's taking a holiday and making it
Santa
their own.
Claus, bro.
Like
Like-
taking away Christ, like because apparently Christmas wasn't that big of a deal, but it was all about Easter. Like Easter is like think about it, like he came back to life in 3 days. That's crazy. Like
Mhm.
that's all Christians thought about, and they're like, oh, let's bring up this like Christmas thing, and
Yeah.
made it into a whole big thing.
Ah.
Don't forget that the whole holiday is. Let's not forget that the entire holiday is stolen from the pagans in Yule. So,
Yes,
I mean, it's all the winter solstice thing, right? Like, it's
yes.
gotta have something to tie to the magic man in the sky. Sorry, tangent there. You may want to remove that.
No.
Yeah, and then you got April Fools. You know the story that
He goes like,
New Year's
no.
used to be celebrated on April 1st
Really?
because it's springtime. Think about it as like new,
Makes sense.
you know, and then it got changed. I forget exactly why it got changed, and like there's this myth that's why people joke around about April Fools. Like no one when it got changed, some
Ah.
people still celebrated New Year's on April. It's like, oh, you're a fool. It's already been New
That's
Year's.
funny. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Ah.
Because it is
So-
kind of a shitty time. So you think about it, like winter sucks, and like I'm usually like fine with winter up through the holidays, and then you're like, wow, this is depressing. When is this shit over?
Yeah.
So it's like at least when you had a holiday on April
Mhm.
1st, to me that would give you something to look forward to, right? So
Yeah,
we've all just fucked everything up for the years.
Nah, I
It's all-
fucking hate the winter. So it was 74 degrees
was-
today, so it was beautiful.
Oh, I
it
love
was
it, dude.
probably all because somebody needed to make money, so they're like, let's change it to this day. So that we
History of the
can
world, brother.
boop up we could boost up sales,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
and then it would because like winter sucks so bad, so like now everybody would be like all around and spending money to have holiday parties and New Year's parties and stuff. Crazy.
I mean, I
shit.
do like that aspect of it, so I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So
And that's a nostalgia test tangent.
Okay.
damn with the drops, live drops.
Dude,
There we
this movie, I think we've come to it.
Yes.
Unless there's anything else you would like to
talk about.
There's a few different interesting facts I'd like to say though.
Okay.
So
All right. Bring it on.
Burgess Meredith, who was fourth billed, has one scene and 8 lines. 8
How much do you get
lines.
paid? Do you know how much you get paid? Because that would be interesting.
I would say he probably get 1985. Burgess Meredith. I mean, he's really famous. I'm hoping he
It's right
got
around when the
close to, like,
Rockies are taking stride. You know,
he
so
had.
he's-
Hopefully, he
big
got at
game.
least $1 million. I mean, right?
I mean, you said the budget was
85,
what, 50 million, 30 to
around
50 million?
20
I
to 30
imagine-
million.
Yeah, most of that was probably Dudley Moore and like Burgess
Yeah.
Meredith, John Lithgow, like these big name actors you get in this.
Oh my God! The role of BZ of John Lithgow was also offered to Harrison Ford, Burt
Mm.
Reynolds, Dustin
That would've been
Hoffman,
funny.
Johnny
Burt
Carson.
Reynolds would've been
Dude, I wish it was
Johnny
Burt Reynolds.
Carson. Burt Reynolds would have been great, dude. It would be even better if it was Norm Macdonald playing Burt Reynolds.
Oh
Yes.
God, dude!
Yes.
Seriously.
They should just make fun of this movie. I would not mind a reboot of this movie. Well, it kind of
Dude,
is
no,
already.
yeah.
I'd be
they-
open to it if they
that-
took the piss out of it. Yeah.
This
Yeah.
goes along with our idea on reboots. In the Nostalgia Test podcast, we hate reboots, but if you're going to reboot something, the movie should be a total bomb and it should have been a garbage piece of shit. If you want to reboot Santa Claus the movie, go for it, but it needs to be an hour and a half long and that's it. But
You have our checkbox.
yeah,
Yeah.
you have our blessing to reboot Santa Claus the movie. And cast Kurt Russell in it. Why not? He's a good Santa Claus from the Christmas.
I like Christmas Chronicles, Santa Claus.
I've
He's-
never seen that one. I got to
good.
watch that one.
He's
Yeah,
good.
it's good. Yeah, that's a good one. Paul McCartney was originally going to write and perform a theme song, but his record label declined. I love
The theme
it.
song they have is okay. The song at the end, I'm like, all right, like I remember this. Like this is not a bad Christmas song. Like it's
That
fine,
last
you know?
song was insane, dude. It was just like,
It's like,
oh,
all right.
the kids are crazy. I don't know. It was horrifying.
I'm trying to find some positive here.
Yeah. I like what some of his
Um,
words. It's like, I don't understand such the low rating. I love this as a kid. This is so
Watch it
funny.
again, bro.
I can't
Watch it
believe I've never, you know what? I've never seen this. And it scared the shit out of me. But what's funny is the origin of Santa Claus being, I guess, some sort of ghost or poltergeist or spirit. And what was weird, a week ago, I turned on the first episode from the first season of Mr. Bean, and he's dropped from the sky.
Yes.
Did he?
He's supposed to be an alien.
Is he an alien?
Yeah. That's the whole idea.
Remember,
man.
He's
Nico,
not
you
of
were in my
this
class.
world.
Remember Mrs. Smith in 8th grade science? We'd watch Mr. Bean.
Bro, shout out that class, 8th grade science. Mrs. Smith, Mike was in that class. The bear was in that class, and that was
Yeah, he stepped on my chain wallet and got it stuck in the seat to fuck with me. Remember that?
and then I'm gonna just blink all these names out. Was sitting in front of
Yeah.
me. This was in that class. I feel like in that class.
But I do remember
Timothy-
her like watching Mr. Bean like that. Oh
Yeah.
God, remember
Yeah.
the freak out in that class? Yeah, he freaked out. Yeah,
The Fresh Maker.
block these names out. Yeah, I do remember that. That was
All these
crazy.
names are gonna get blocked out.
I don't know why, but I remember that was the year that Syracuse won the national championship. I don't know why I remember that, but I do remember that.
Mike and I took a bunch of those magnesium strips when we did that lab, and we just stacked a bunch together and put them against the Bunsen burner, and it blinded the. It's
Love it, man. That's what
That was a
science
good
is
time.
for.
a
That
good
woman was
time.
crazy, by the way. Yeah, she definitely.
Yeah.
I do remember someone called someone a putz, and she goes, "Gee, you know what putz means? It's Yiddish for small penis." And we were like, "What the fuck?"
First of all, I remember Mike getting.
What are we doing here?
I don't know.
Guys, we got to just put this to the test here.
And that's the nostalgia test handed.
Rain it in. Yeah. it is.
Okay. All right. So Santa Claus the movie, we're putting it to the nostalgia test. Does it pass the test, Billy?
Oh, I mean, 100% it does. No, I'm just kidding. Absolutely not. I've been on this show a lot, guys, and there are a lot of things where normally I struggle with it. I've gone back and forth. You know, some things have passed, some haven't watched it. Unequivocally, like 5 minutes into this
Would you
movie,
say-
I'm like,
Would you say it
fuck, I have to
fails?
watch. Yes, I would say it
Yeah.
fails hard
Okay.
because I was like 5 minutes into the movie. I'm like, fuck, I got another 146 minutes of this. Like, holy
Yes.
shit. Like, oh my God.
Yes. Let's
Fail.
not forget
Absolute fail.
that
So-
BZ also at one point tells his lawyer, "We're just going to collect the money and run away to
He's
Latin
Scarface.
America and just like let kids explode." Like totally fine.
Dude, he's a drug dealer. He's
We're
a
doing that.
fucking drug dealer. That's why. He
And
doesn't
honestly,
care.
if you're a drug dealer, you should have that attitude, right? So otherwise, you're in the wrong business.
Yeah.
He's fucking
Wow.
Scarface, bro. That's what he is. He's
So yes,
Scarface.
I'm agreeing with Billy. This is garbage. This was fun to get into, just to be like, okay, I finally put it to bed. Like I've been asking probably 3 years now for Dan on this one,
This podcast
I'll
is
never
well
watch this
done
movie again.
for you.
and I will never waste my time watching this movie again.
I'd rather watch a Hallmark movie.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, like
Watch Hot
I'm
Frosty
gonna watch Hot Frosty. I'm gonna watch Hot Frosty.
on Netflix. It's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
It's
All right, I'll watch
hilarious. It's crazy. It's crazy.
it's ridiculous. Okay, yeah.
So is this
Dan,
a new
what do you got?
category, Manny? Because I'm saying this fails hard. It is so bad. I never want to see this again. I don't know what's wrong
No.
with England. How is this that popular?
That's
in
another.
England?
We don't have enough time for that.
No.
like I don't get it. Like this is a new category for me. I think when we're talking about Christmas movies and something is so bad, it is Santa Claus movie bad.
Bottom
like
of the barrel.
that.
bottom
This
of the
is.
Yeah,
I would
it's not even
rather watch.
cheesy.
No,
It's
I
not
would.
even cheesy.
I would rather watch Miracle on 34th Street. Like I would
OG?
rather watch. Yeah, I would rather watch. It's a Wonderful Life, which is a great movie, but it's super fucking long. But like, I would rather watch that movie.
Is it
You know,
good?
I would rather watch. My son a couple years ago, he went through like a phase where he watched Jaws. There's a movie called Santa Jaws where
I saw that on Tubi. It was on Tubi.
someone draws a shark with a Santa hat on it, and somehow it comes to reality and starts eating his friends. I would rather watch that than watch this movie ever again.
Wow. All right.
Yeah,
Before we go though,
bar's low.
I don't know if we're gonna do this in the 2025 episode,
The 2024 episode.
2024 episode.
We're going to the
Top
future.
5.
Everyone.
Have we done the top 5?
Top 5 Christmas movies?
Yeah.
Ooh.
No.
Before we do that, by the way, I have one question. You guys you've done a lot of stuff. I've watched a lot of your episodes. I haven't seen all of them.
Yeah.
Is this the hardest fail you have ever had? For each of you, like personal question. I know, like it's subjective, right? For me, all the guest episodes I've been on, this is the hardest fail. Like not even fucking close. Have you guys ever had
like it failed
fail
that
as hard as
hard?
this?
Like it failed
have you guys
that
ever had
hard?
something fail that hard for you? Manny, probably this is more to you because Pico, you hadn't seen it before, but like,
no,
is there a harder fail?
This is a pretty hard fail because in my head, this was a good movie that it was going to be at least nostalgic, and it wasn't even to me.
Nope.
No,
I agree.
It wasn't even that to me. So, because sometimes I mean, I'm pretty fair with our tests. Like, I'm like, it's still nostalgic. If still, like whatever. I won't watch it all the time. Like, I'm never watching this movie again. No, I will never waste my time.
Erase it, even though I paid for it.
So
I don't
can I
accidentally
give
watch
it back?
I would say this fails super hard, even with just watching it. Like, but I think the Take Your Pants Off and Jacket, that failed really hard because you and I listened to that album, Manny, a lot when it came out. And
That's true too. That was a hard fail for us.
There.
And that was episode 2.
I think that one was hard to say that it failed because we're like, I really love that.
To it.
Yeah.
What did the Wedding Singer fail, or was it just nostalgic?
I think it was just nostalgic, but people
it was
hate
close.
us for that.
It was
people
close
hate
to
us
failing.
for that. People love that movie.
I may disagree with you guys in that. I haven't watched it recently, but I got to do it again. So,
okay,
but
Bill,
that's fair.
You know how they trick you in that movie?
The soundtrack.
Oh.
Soundtrack.
That's fair.
Billy, just watch it, just straight. Just
a mute with subtitles.
Yeah. Anytime.
Don't drink anytime. Just watch it because they also trick.
That's a good point.
Because that's how Adam Sandler movies trick everyone. Because everyone goes and watch an Adam Sandler movie like, I'm gonna get fucked up, and it was great. It's like, no. When you watch it normally, this is not a good movie. Like, it's like watching. You ever watch Cube? Were you forced to watch Cube?
Yes, with you, and at
Robert Palmer.
his house.
I saw it twice.
With Old Red. You know I'm talking about with that one, right?
Yeah.
The half melted. Yes. If you watch that dead sober, you'd be like, what the fuck is this?
Made me watch that, and I was like, I hate you. This movie's the worst thing I've ever seen. But
that's not the one with Jennifer Lopez. That's another one, right?
That's Cell.
That's the Cell. Yeah.
Yeah. No, Cube.
Bro, when you sent the clip like 2 weeks ago, I was like, what the fuck is this? I forgot about that movie. That's like a fever dream movie.
Yeah. But let's see. Top 5 Christmas movies, Manny?
Yeah. Billy's basically standing in front of all of them.
Are we doing top to bottom, or are we just saying our?
I'm saying like your go-to 5.
Yeah, all right. Because otherwise, ranking is gonna get hard.
Yeah,
like
let's even do 10.
Top 5.
Like ones that you're like saving, you save to watch, and you're like definitely.
And I'm watching it every year, maybe multiple time.
Yeah.
Christmas Vacation, 100%.
Fuck yeah.
I love that movie.
I know we're not doing rankings, but that's just number 1. I got it. I refreshed my Clark Griswold hockey jersey this year because I had it, and a couple years ago I left it in a hotel, and I was like, "Oh, $35 sold." So I got the Blackhawks Griswold jersey again. My son's like, "You're not a Blackhawks fan." I'm like, "Shut up! Watch this movie in a couple of years."
Watch this movie in a couple of years.
I watched somebody reaction to it who watched it for the first time on Instagram, and she was bugging out. She's like, I understand why you guys watch it. Like,
it's
love
one
this
of the
movie.
funniest movies.
It's ridiculous movie. I was never really into it, and then I recently started appreciating it a lot. So
so good.
Chevy Chase is great in it. He's a huge asshole in real life, apparently, but he's so fucking good in that movie. It's like, you know what it is also too? You appreciate it more as you get older.
Yeah.
where like especially like when I had kids and I'm like, well, you want to have the perfect holiday, and I totally get it. And then
Yeah.
we're like, his dad's like, he's like, Dad, how'd you get through the holidays? Like, I had a lot of help from my friend Jack Daniels. I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Like, it resonates on a different level.
I would
yeah.
definitely like my go-to is obviously Elf.
Elf's a good one.
Elf's
I
a
agree.
good
It's
one.
top five.
Yeah, top 5.
Definitely in the top 5.
I recently the Noel. Have you guys seen Noel?
I like that one.
No,
That
I've
one's
heard
a
it's
good
good
one.
though. I
It's
haven't
like-
seen it.
It's really
it's
funny.
like-
it's
it's
really
funny.
funny.
Yeah, it's done really well.
Yeah.
The
Home Alone.
night before.
Oh, I haven't seen that
But
one.
that's a funny movie. Yeah, I wouldn't consider it my
Dan.
top 5, but I can see why you do.
Oh,
It's
no,
fucking
there's
shit.
I don't know if it was like top 5. That's like honorable mention. Like I will. People are like, what? Dan, you got to watch it. It's Seth
it's great.
Rogen. Seth Rogen is hilarious in it, and
Yeah.
it's like they're 3 friends that always get together the night before Christmas.
Ah.
It's got a
and-
little nostalgia going on in the movie.
Yeah, it's really good. It's
I agree.
done really
That's a
well.
solid film.
Home Alone, but which one?
Hmm.
Oh, fuck. Can I say 1 and 2? I mean, they're both classic. I mean,
They're both classic.
Yeah.
ugh. By the way, have you guys seen there's an Instagram reel? I don't know if it's new, but it's Macaulay Culkin now. Who's in the car and like he goodnights his mom, and his friend's like, bro, that's cold. Like, you put your mom to bed. He's like, she left me at home when I was 8 years old. And then he goes on how he's been in therapy for like 25 years because what
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's hilarious.
That's so funny.
Oh
But
my
I
god.
want to. All right, if you gun to my head, I have to pick one. I'm gonna go with 1.
Okay. Die Hard.
Yeah. One's
Yes.
really good.
You watch it all the time, every year,
Every year I watch Die Hard.
only on Christmas.
Yeah.
Okay. Christmas Story. I see you got
That's
fragile
gonna be a
leg.
this weekend one. Oh, dude. You know what the good thing with that is? Like, that's like mine. Like, TBS still does the 24 hours of Christmas Story. I
Mhm.
just throw that on the background on Christmas Eve, whatever you're doing. By the end of the day, you've probably seen the whole movie, right? And
Yes.
like, that's another one. Like that and Christmas Vacation are so fucking quotable. Like, if you say a quote,
Yeah.
every time, every time, my kid asks a stupid question, my head, like, not even the holidays, all the year, I want to be like, bend over and I'll show you. I said it once, and Henry's like, "What?" I'm like, "Never mind." But like, quotes, those are movies. Like, same with "You'll Shoot Your Eye Out" and like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
"Oh Fudge." Like, those are,
Yeah.
to me, those are just classics. And the good thing with those is what I love too. I do want to sit down and watch each of those. Actually, let me change that. I sit down and watch Christmas Vacation once a year. A Christmas Story, like I said, is a Christmas Eve thing. But those are also ones, like, if they're on the background, whatever, like, you can jump in and out. You've seen it so
Mhm.
many times. It's just
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm gonna watch this for 10 minutes. This is funny. Like,
Yeah, they're
oh,
on.
this
You just
part's
don't
coming
sit.
up.
Yeah.
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 This is
Yeah.
where Cousin Eddie pours the shit in the drain. I'm gonna watch
Yeah.
it for 5 minutes.
Yeah,
you
you're
know?
just
Oh
like
my god.
I like what you say. It's kind of like in the background. It's on.
Yeah.
People.
Mhm.
It's not disrupting your memory that's happening, but like you could just
Yeah.
like put it on. Yeah.
If someone talks during it, I'm not gonna be like, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to watch the movie. It's like, all right, whatever.
But like Elf, I'll sit and watch Elf. Like
Oh,
that would
yeah.
be,
Yeah.
and that's just like
Elf
me
is
and
great.
Kristen. Like I don't do that at family. It's like we wake up in the morning. We're like, it's time to watch Elf. Like yeah,
Yeah.
it's time to watch.
Yeah.
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 That's a good one. So, all right. So
Yeah.
so the ones we have in the top 5 now, we've all agreed on. We've agreed
Christmas
on Christmas
Story,
Story,
Christmas Vacation,
Vacation, Elf,
Home Alone, Elf,
and Home Alone. Is Die Hard in the top 5 for you guys? Like, is it an every year go to or no? I know we had that episode last year.
It's
debated
not an
with
every
Christmas
year
Story.
go to me. It is now. I now consider it a Christmas movie. But
That was a good
it's
episode,
not-
by the way.
Yeah.
Go watch it, guys, if you haven't.
Yeah.
Shameless plug.
Have you
It's a
seen
good one.
Have you seen 8-Bit Christmas?
It's a good one.
Yeah, that is a good one too. About
That was
getting
good.
Nintendo.
That's like Christmas
Hell yeah.
Story. It's instead of the
That's a
BB gun,
great-
it's
that's
the,
a really good one.
it's the Nintendo one.
Yeah.
I'm
Bad
trying
I
to
love
get-
it. It's like for an updated one was good. Yeah, and
Yeah.
he had the friend with the power glove. I'm like, oh, it's fucking Manny.
Yeah. Yeah. My sister texted me.
Such a
She
good
goes,
one.
"We were the rich kid." I was like, "Oh, I know."
That was such a good movie. It was really good. But see,
It was
that's the
so
thing.
good.
It's so hard to get a good Christmas movie now because everyone's.
What about
focused-
Grinch?
I'm not
Jim
watching
Carrey's
that.
Grinch.
Man, I'm not watching that.
You're not.
I go the original over that one. To be honest with you, I'll take the old school. one over
cartoon?
that.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah,
say, do you
that's-
guys? Any of you go to the claymation ones?
No,
Ooh, I
not
do
after
love-
we fucking watch them for the episode. Those things are fucking terrifying.
Rudolph, I will. I love how they're terrifying. It's my favorite part of it. Rudolph, I'll go to. Rudolph is a good one.
I mean,
The other
that's
ones
Elf.
like, yeah, it is. Because and then Elf borrows it with the snowman. I love that. You know, they tie to your childhood. That's why it hits so hard.
Yeah.
What are the other ones they have? Like the Jack Frost. That's a little weird. But I like some of the non-claymation classics too, like Frosty. I'll watch every year because the kids like that. The classic Grinch. You know, those are like, and they're half an hour, so it's like great. I'll throw it on. I like Charlie Brown Christmas. My kids think that's boring, but I like that one.
You do?
I can't get through that one.
Huh?
I can't get.
I
through
like
it.
it still.
Bad Santa.
I think it's,
Bad
bro.
Santa.
I remember the first time I saw that. I saw it in the theater with Dwyer, and he looks over at me. He goes, "Hey, Bill, if you make a couple bad moves in your life, this could be you." Which nowadays is kind of hilarious.
Have you watched Spirited with
No.
a musical with
Oh yes, I watched that last year with Will Ferrell is in there.
Yeah,
I'm
that's pretty
getting,
good.
yeah, but I'm getting tired of fucking Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell. I'll watch Will Ferrell's other stuff like Elf and things like that, but he's getting on my fucking nerves. You know, I don't
And you
know.
got Scrooged. Which,
I've only seen half of that movie. I got to see all
So
of it
good.
this year. I mean, I watch it this
that
year.
movie is great. Bill Murray is great in that movie.
I want
That's
to
an every
watch.
year watch for me.
I don't.
For me, for sure. Yeah.
I never watched that stupid movie Love Actually. I'm never watching that, but I have watched The Holiday.
I actually started. I didn't like it. I went through a year not liking it because I was like, everyone's actually terrible, and then I went back and I'm like, no, I watch it. I like it.
Did you ever watch The Holiday?
Is that the one with Jack Black and
Yeah. That
seen
I
those
like.
twice.
I like that one. That because I
right.
like Jack Black in that one. Like, there's some movies where I'm like, you're getting annoying too. But I don't know. There was something about that film that I enjoyed. And then, you know, I'm just watching a bunch of cheesy ass Netflix and like fucking Hallmark movies.
Oh, yeah.
They're hilarious. Deck the
Did you,
Halls. That movie was fucking crazy weird.
Yes.
I think I saw that one. Oh, did you see? I was speaking of Jack Black. I briefly mentioned earlier. You see, there's a new movie with him that I'm going to watch where the kid can't spell and he writes his letter to Satan, and Jack Black is Satan, and then he comes up and grants wishes. Like, I'll watch that. It's probably
is
going to
that
be dumb.
Dear Santa? It's called
Yeah.
Dear Satan.
Yeah.
It's kind of like that was the same plot of Krampus, the horror movie, but that was more horror, and this looks like it's more comedy. So I'll watch it. It looks like mindless, you know.
Yeah. Black Christmas.
I mean, you gotta have a fucking horror movie on Christmas. By the way, I finally watched a movie Thanksgiving. I don't know if you guys watched that. Great movie.
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Did you watch Violent Night? Violent Night was funny.
No, Chrissy told me that was amazing.
You would like it. You would like.
She said watch it in one sitting though.
Yes, you would like it. It's so bad. It's good. It was done well. That guy's a funny guy. Anyways, all right. That was
wow, people.
This is Christmas,
as long as,
of course,
as long as the movie.
Yeah.
What was that?
Less than the movie, bro.
That was you.
It was like an hour.
That was you, Manny, saying that it's our Christmas episode. Where is
Got
it?
This is Christmas, of course.
This is our Christmas episode.
Got it.
But the Santa Claus. God damn it! That's a movie I like to watch. The Santa Claus, because the sad dads eat at Denny's that night, and it's hilarious. But Santa Claus the movie, 1985. No, thumbs down on this movie.
Hard fail.
If you're out there, you like this movie. I know someone on Instagram, actually, I put it up to see it, you know, who would say that this passes or not. And the results are in on this one, and it is, let's see, 67% of people said it passes, and one person said nah.
I gotta say, like
67%.
Watch
but
it
only
again.
three people voted.
Watch it again.
Only 3 people
All right,
voted.
well, those 3 people need to watch it again.
I'm calling them out because movie boners voted yes, but they said they were trying
everything.
They said they were just kidding, but I mean,
okay.
Here's what I'm saying: watch it again, and if you still feel the same way, you're wrong because it's a piece of shit.
It is.
Yeah, at Dr. Loomis, the dude said yes. I don't know.
Nope.
I don't know.
No. Bro, watch it again.
Watch it again.
Watch it again.
It's got to be it's one of the worst Christmas movies I've ever seen. I never want to watch it again, and I'm very upset that I had to see this. Manny, I blame you, but again, I had to watch Airborne and this, and but you also had to watch
Airborne. I'm jealous. Great movie.
fuck that movie.
Such a good movie. I love the movie.
But Manny,
Right, because me and Manny watched it together the first time.
you're gonna have to watch Over the Top in 2025. So
Yes.
Fine.
Please bring me on. For
Not
that one.
upset
I
about
love
it.
that movie.
Not upset about that at all.
there must have been a movie that you were upset with. I don't know what it was, but I forget what it was.
Roadhouse 2.
I think it's just because
Roadhouse
I mean I'll watch. I know how I'm going to react to Over the Top. Yeah,
You're gonna
'cause
love
think-
it.
I thought we
You're
I thought we
gonna
watched
love-
it. For some
No, we
reason
haven't.
that I watched it again for no. I thought it
We
was
were
for
gonna
this.
watch. We were gonna do it. I
Yes,
think.
it was. We were gonna do it,
Yeah,
and we
but never
never
So
happened.
good.
Yeah. But anyway,
Is it though,
people.
Bill? Is it so good?
people.
It's
Dude,
about
wait,
armor.
wait.
Probably
before-
nostalgic,
this-
Manny.
Oh man, this episode
It's
just
just
went.
nostalgia.
This episode is brought to you by
Ooh.
ADHD.
Yes. All right,
Hey,
guys.
it's a
follow
good
us.
But wait,
Today.
wait. Talking about Over the Top. Here we go.
Analysts are now psyching each other up. Can you imagine? Link Hop is giving away just about 100 pounds to Bull Hurley. That's a lot to give away in arm wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. Where strength is so important.
Let's go.
All right, gentlemen.
Why?
I love how the prize is a truck.
Yes.
A
It's a
freaking long haul
truck.
truck.
And
Mack
and,
truck.
And Bull
Imagine pitching that
Hurley.
movie.
Bull
Yeah.
Hurley has won how many times in a row? That means he has how many trucks?
He's got a whole fucking fleet, bro. His business model is based on winning that tournament.
Truckers
Totally
are the
fucked.
most important people. In
Okay. Guys, I'm going to wrap this up so we can get to our next
man.
Yeah, good
episode.
call.
Don't forget to follow us
Everyone.
on anywhere you can get your podcast.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, and share our podcast. Go follow and download other episodes that Billy's been on. And we'll see you at the next Nostalgia
Usually
Test.
some profanity.
Yes, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you guys.
Merry Christmas,
Peace.
everyone.
Thanks for listening to today's episode. Please subscribe to the Nostalgia Test podcast to know when new episodes drop. Don't forget to leave us 5 stars and a positive review so more people can find the podcast. Share your thoughts and memories on today's topic on our Twitter at Nostalgia Test and on Instagram at The Nostalgia Test. Tune in next time because you never know what pop culture will pop up on The Nostalgia Test.